Go back to the news you have on Lamar Jackson. Go ahead.
Lamar Jackson didn't practice today, Laura, and obviously he was hobbled when he was leaving the locker room on Sunday night after the loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. The fact that he was not out there at practice today, the fact that he was hobbled after the game, tells you that Cooper Rush right now is tracking to play Sunday against the Houston Texans. Now let's keep in mind, Lamar Jackson, the Ravens play the Texans this week. They play the Rams next week, and then they have a bye. So it's possible that Lamar Jackson could wind up missing 2 games and get a month off. And if you're the Los Angeles Rams, you're looking 1 week at a 49ers team without Brock Purdy, Ricky Pearsall, and Juwan Jennings, then getting an extended rest to play a Ravens team that could be without Lamar Jackson before the Ravens go on the bye. So the schedule is shaping up in the Rams' favor right now, but the Ravens have so many injuries that they have to overcome, and right now it looks like, depending on how the rest of the week goes, there's a real possibility that Cooper Rush is going to be the Ravens starting quarterback Sunday.
It's so interesting, the storylines in the league, how it can actually just really play into the hand of one team, and right now these bad injuries, as Adam's pointing out, are playing into the Rams' hand. All right. Let's talk about the Ravens, though. Phil, they are facing the Texans this week. How do they adjust the offense if it is Cooper Rush in there, as Adam's kind of alluding to?
Oh, by the way, your first test is the #1 scoring defense in the NFL by a full 4 points per game. The Texans defense certainly not the problem down there in Houston right now. Cooper Rush will do something that the Ravens have seen a few times since 2019 when Lamar became their full-time starter. Somebody else filling in for Lamar. The big difference is look at the 4 quarterbacks that have previously stepped in for Lamar Jackson. Snoop Huntley, the most experience out of those guys, and then Robert Griffin III, Josh Johnson, and Anthony Brown. I'm not saying any of those guys are close to the level athlete that Lamar is under center. That being said, they all offer a whole lot more rushing upside than Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush, who I guess is inappropriately named Cooper Rush. He's got 61 carries for 20 yards in his career. He's kind of the human victory cigar, taking a lot of knees throughout his career. But if you're playing the Ravens, normally you got Lamar and Derrick Henry. I think the idea from a defense is we got to pick our poison. Are we going to make Lamar beat us as a passer and allow Derrick Henry and bottle up Derrick Henry as a runner, or the other way around? We're going to bottle up Lamar but allow Derrick Henry to gash us for 150 yards. This weekend, if you're D'Amico Ryans and Matt Burke, you're saying to yourself, if we can slow down number 22, we're fine. Because if Cooper Rush beats us with his arm, we'll live with that over Derrick Henry going for 225 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, so far this season through 4 games, the Ravens have lost their identity and they lost their way as an organization, as a football team. They're not physical anymore on either side. And Marcus said something yesterday about Derrick Henry's got to get more carries, and I was like, stop, let's not overreact. Going back to last week's Kansas City game, on 1st and 2nd down, guess how many carries he had over the course of that game on 1st and 2nd down?
Last week?
Yeah. 6.
12? Oh.
Wow.
He carried the ball 6 times on 1st and 2nd down. So I think there's a reality where the Ravens have gotten a little pass happy on offense. I love the throw. I love putting the ball in the air. I love being aggressive. But if you look at kind of the carries in comparison to last year and where he is this year, on 1st and 2nd down, that's where you should be feeding him the football and allowing him to have an impact. 6 carries on
crazy.
1st and 2nd down.
Some of that because they were down and they were trying to.
They went down and took the lead the first drive of the game.
You're right. You're right.
Hey, but you were saying Swagoo was right?
His point was valid. After going back and going 6 carries, if you look at it, the numbers compared to last year as far as touches and whatnot, it's not even close.
2 names, Derrick Henry, Zach Orr. Like, they got to get it figured out. Otherwise, they're not going to have a chance. They got to play the field position game. And if I'm talking to the receivers in the receiver meeting room this week, I'm telling you, hey, you have a lot of time to get open when you have Lamar. That is not the case with Cooper Rush. And actually, he is appropriately named because he gets the ball out of his hands really, really fast.
All right.
And what that means is, as a receiver, what I'm telling you is you have to hurry, but don't rush. This is going to feel different. Cooper is going to try to get the ball out of his hands. And as an offensive coordinator, what am I doing in the pass game that plays into the style that he likes to play? Getting it to Zay Flowers on the edge, maybe some of that screen game, looking for yak opportunities. Again, you're playing the field position game, protecting the football. It has to go back to the old school Ravens, otherwise you won't have a chance. This is not going to be a barn burner.
Yeah, they got to – I think we saw a couple teams recently get a little pass happy. The Chargers, I felt last week, certainly the Ravens fall under that,
By the way, we're talking about all these Ravens injuries. If you're keeping track, it's really crazy. These are the guys who did not practice today. Lamar Jackson, Ronnie Stanley, the left tackle, Roquan Smith, who's